Hello, hello, soul family. I am so excited to chat with you. As I am going through and I'm creating a marketing campaign and some marketing content for the Calibration Room, my non binary and women in Web3 networking group, I am going to be taking you through the process, the back end of a lot of things that I do that I don't always teach on, but I have found a lot of success in. So today is about how to create truly magnetizing content and copy that attracts your ideal soul family, your perfect community member that you want, your perfect buyer, your perfect consumer. How to create content that gets them to take an action that you want them to take, which we call conversion. That could be sales, that could be liking one of your Twitter posts or sharing or retweeting or joining your Discord community. So we're going to talk a lot about that. But first, let me share my screen because in order to get there, the first thing we need to do is to figure out who are we talking to? Who is that perfect person that we want in our community? And I will tell you that starting off in whatever you're creating, whether it is an offering, a business in Web3 or a collection, you might it's going to be pretty vague for the most part because a lot of people are in there and they don't necessarily know who is the perfect fit for them. So you might have somebody that's just starting might be like, okay, I want, families in my community. As you go along, you're going to figure out that there's a certain type of person, whether it's a mindset, whether it's maybe it's a specific age, but it's going to start to form into something a lot more specific. And I love to look and really try to attract the soul family who can get the most benefit from me. So let me share my screen. I'm going to go into this a little bit more. Okay, we're going to show the desktop. Okay, so how to pinpoint your soul family. Once you've been doing this a while, you're going to figure out, okay, our soul family has this very specific thought, or maybe it's a certain reasoning about a certain topic. And somebody who does it probably isn't going to be the best fit for our soul family. It is important to get very clear on who is in your soul family and who isn't, because not to be a dick, but because it's going to be helpful for everyone, for you, for your end goal, and for your community's end goal. So first and foremost, you want to make sure that you have aligned values. So these are values, maybe, your values are that the environment is incredibly important. Like, it is incredibly important for us to make sure that we keep our oceans clean, that we pick up trash on the beach. Okay. So those are more values. It could even be just in general. We want values, people who value being going out of their way to make sure people feel like they belong, or that they are constantly working on having a positive mindset, or they are trying to they feel it's important to stay active every day. And so these are aligned values, and they can either be the exact same or they can be complementary to what your values are. But either way, whether they are different but are complementary, or they are completely the same, those are what we considered aligned values. So take the time to go over all of these buckets and write them all down. And you are going to want to make sure that you are creating Twitter spaces around, these aligned values, that you are showing up in Twitter spaces and communities who have these aligned values. That's going to be really important. You're going to write content on all of these shared values. And that's really to make sure that people understand, yes, I belong in this community, or no, I don't. And then there's the shared vision, which is bigger. So what is the big goal? And I touch a lot on this in my Built to Last masterclass on how to build a community and to keep your community very engaged. And that's the shared vision. So the large end goal, like they have this vision that they want to see completed in their lifetime. So maybe it is decreasing CO2 emissions by a certain percentage. Maybe it is, making sure that every school in America has rules and systems in place to really protect our LGBT youth. Okay, so these are the values, the big vision, and you want to make sure that those are 100% aligned. Because if you're creating something that doesn't get them one step closer to your shared vision or something that they want to see happen, they're not going to feel that drive or pull to purchase from you or to take the next step in whatever that step is with you. And then the last one, make sure that you're their final link. I'm going to get a lot more into this once I get into the copy. So when you're first starting out, you're going to be a lot general, like I said, and eventually you're going to get a lot more specific. So maybe if you're at the beginning of your journey, write this down, but make sure to come back to this in a month, in 3 months. You want to make sure this is ever evolving, because the more specific you can get, the more magnetizing your offers are going to be, your content is going to be, and the more likely they are to stay in your world and to purchase from you. Okay, so first and foremost, figuring out soul family. Again, we're not going super deep into any of this. So if you have questions, let me know. We can maybe either create a different video or just chat about it in the Discord. Okay, so next up, I want to go over my notes. So once you have your soul family, this is basically how you get them to take action with you. And when I say convert, it could be anything. It could be to fill out a form. It could be to hop on a call with you, to buy your NFT, to join your community, like I said. So you want to make sure that you are very in tune with your soul family. Yes, you have the aligned visions. You figured out who your soul family is. Now you need to understand them more and figure out what is it that they need from you. What's the problem that they're facing that aligns with your brand, that aligns with your values, that you can help them with really quickly. What you're going to find is that there are 4 different categories of problems. They fit into a bucket of health, wealth, personal development, and relationships. Pick one. I can't stress enough that you need to go simple with this. Very, very simple. You don't want, health, but because of wealth and because of relationships. This is where people get tripped up a lot. Like, people want more energy and they want a better sex life, and they also want to lose 10 pounds. Okay, well, what is it? And this comes from listening, and this comes from asking them and just observing, what do they want first and foremost? So if somebody does want to lose 10 pounds, that might be what they first want to do. That is the first step to get them to their goal. So you want to focus on that. So they are in the health realm. Again, not going to go too deep into this for this training, but just be aware of what bucket you are in and make sure that you are just picking one for now. Okay, so that's going to be very important. So this is actually right here. Like, this is what I'm on here to talk about. This is what needs to be comprised, whether it's in more of a long form blog post or services page or sales page, or maybe this is what you talk about in your Twitter spaces. But this is the content that is going to get people to take the next step with you. Okay. So, I don't want you to go off, and I don't want you to every single tweet have this in there, like, have to go through all of this, and don't think that you always have to do all of this. There's a lot of nuances that go into this, but this is specifically for the copy that you want to write or the video that you want to make that gets somebody to take the next step, to convert with you, to make those sales. I think most of us here are going to really focus on the sales conversions. And that's what I did, because that's what I'm focused on for the calibration room. So the examples I'm giving, just so you know where my mindset is at, it's in sales. Okay, so the PSS, the problem, the symptom, the scenario. So like I said, you're going to be very general at first, and you're going to get a lot more specific. So make sure you know the problem. Okay, so that's going to be the overarching bucket. And then as you go along and as you learn more about your soul family, you're going to know more about the symptoms. Okay, well, what is the symptom to their problem? They're not making money in Web3. Is it because they have too many ideas? They don't know how to take action, or they have the support that they need to take action, or maybe they're caught up in a loop where they feel like they have to spend money in order to make money. So here you can see that we're getting a little bit more specific, and that might weed out some people, which is a good thing. Trust me. It seems counterintuitive, but it's very helpful to get very specific. And then from there, you can figure out, okay, well, what is this scenario? What specific scenario are they in that has this problem? So maybe it's they spend a lot of time with their ideas, but they have a hard time organizing it. And because of that, they stay frozen. Or maybe they have too many ideas and can't figure out what to do next, or how to do it in a way that gets people to buy. So you're going to get more and more specific as time goes on. But when you're crafting your post, you want to make sure that it hits all of these in this order. So you want to make sure, the problem here is going to get people's attention. Not making money in Web3. Okay, well, here's why. Or maybe it's like, hey, are you the type of person in Web3 who just feels like they haven't made any friends here yet, and you're really looking and craving those friendships? Okay, that's going to get somebody's attention. So you always want to start with the problem, symptom, and scenario. And you want to come at this in a very Web3 way. We don't want the Web2 trauma that's happened of you're poor and you're going to stay poor until you do this. That's not what this is about at all. This is coming from a space of intention, of you want to genuinely help each other. You want to let them know that you deeply feel them and that you understand them. Okay. So whole different vibe than Web2. I don't want you guys to go away and, start to create all of this copy that really is, putting people down, or you know exactly the copy that I'm talking about. Okay. So once you figure this out, then you want to let them know, hey, I know what causes this. So maybe, the reason or the cause for just in general, women having hard times making friendships it could be a few different things. And again, we're going to learn this as we deepen our connection with our soul family. Maybe it's because society has pinned women against each other. And so we are raised in an environment where there's a lot of shit talking about other women. There's a lot of not really trusting other women. It could be that simply that you're just out of college and you don't know how to communicate and forge friendships in the digital space. So you're seeing, you want to make sure that you're getting into the causes. And then you want to tell them what the fix is. And obviously the fix is going to be you. It's going to be access to you. It's going to be your community. So whatever it is that you're pushing through that you want sales on. So for me, it's the calibration room. Becoming a member of the calibration room, we are going to help fix your problem. We're going to help move you forward by really getting to the root of what your issue is and getting rid of it completely. So first and foremost, you probably want to start here and be like, okay, this, just, you can even think about it backwards, like calibration room, this is the fix. Okay, what are you fixing? And that kind of runs into this. And that's when you really need to, if you don't know, need to really start doing your research and connecting with the people who are already coming into your community, the people who have the shared vision, the shared aligned values, all of that good stuff. Okay, so after that, you talk about what's going on. So just to break this down, problem. You are craving close friendships in Web3. You don't really know how to make, you don't know how to go about finding and making friends, but you want friendships. You want to forge these friendships. What causes this? Web2 growing up, we've been pinned against each other. And honestly, don't have a container or space where I can forge friendships anymore. Like, I'm not going to the bars. I'm not in a dorm anymore. I'm not in school. I just don't really know where to go to find friends. Maybe it's that they've been a part of networking groups, but what they found is that the networking groups really aren't for friendships. They're for doing business together. Okay, so what's the calibration room? The calibration room puts friendships first and foremost, puts connection first and foremost in everything. Then future casting. So future casting is really talking about what life is like when they do purchase from you. So what is life like in the calibration room as a member? Really get into that. And I wrote a post on Twitter, I'll try to find it and link it here, about getting into the 5 senses, of really tapping into what they're craving physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically, and tapping into the 5 senses as much as you can. And then you're going to have the call to action. Of course, don't do this in a sleazy way. Do this in a, we would love to support you. If you're feeling called, like, please check us out. So that is it. That is basically it in a nutshell. So you have the problem, symptom, scenario here. You do not need to do all 3. You can do 1, you can do 2, but again, the more specific, the better it's going to be in the long run. And that might come with time. What causes this? What's the fix? AKA you talk about that, and how you want to also just be like, this isn't the fix, but also explain how it is the fix. Future casting. So come in, come be a member, and this is what your life is going to feel like. And it's what it's going to look like. And this is what you're going to, listen to, and what you're going to talk about. All the things. The more information you can get, the better. People don't like to purchase if there's any confusion or if there's any unknown. People are afraid of the unknown. So lay it all out on the table. And then your call to action. What's the next step? So you gave them the fix. You gave them all the information they need to know that they want to be in your world. How can they be in your world? Is it going to your website? Is it purchasing the membership? How can they purchase the membership? Where do they go? Who do they need to talk to? So that's it in a nutshell. All right, let me know. Think this through. Go back, take notes, and I want to know where you want me to go deeper on this. If you have any questions or if anything is confusing, I am here for you. Please utilize the Discord. That is going to be the fastest way that I can respond and get you the information that you need to support you. All right. And if you found this helpful, please, please, please share. I'm always so incredibly thankful. We post images. So you'll see in the channel as well that there is a graphic that you can share. You can find a post on Twitter if you want and retweet it, quote tweet it. It's all like so valuable to me, and I truly appreciate it. All right. Have a great day.